Welcome back to County Gains News Network. Today we're reacting to, of course, the RTE propaganda media machine, which is Up Front with Katie Hannon. Okay, today we have a very good video that's really near and dear to my heart, guys, and it's of course about ADHD, ADD, sort of these neurodivergent diseases and all this type of thing, guys. Okay, mental health. And you know, according to me, guys, and according to a lot of other professionals and researchers, it's a load of bollocks, guys. Okay, it's a load of bullshit. People are feigning responsibility. I don't agree for 1 second that ADD and ADHD exists even in the mainstream world. This was invented back in the 80s, okay, to make people feel better about themselves. I'm not even really sure what it's about, but today we're going to be watching a few different videos from the Katie Hannon Up Front. So let's get into it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Of course, we're back with the suit on, guys, suited and booted, ready to make some havoc. Okay, ready to make some noise, because of course, you know, I want to come on this show and completely dismantle a lot of these people's on these shows, because, you know, for one, they have no education, no formal background. They don't know what the hell they're talking about half the time. So this one should be really interesting. The first video we have is Dr. Sarah Carty of ADHD Doc disputes the claim that ADHD is being overdiagnosed, and I would absolutely agree with everyone saying that it is overdiagnosed. Okay, absolutely. They want to hand out pills to people. Me personally, guys, my friends always told me growing up, Chris, you definitely have ADHD. Chris, you're definitely ADD. And I don't even know what that means, guys. It's complete bullshit. Stuff that you use to feign responsibility and get out of work and, you know, trying to show to yourself that you're someone special. You're not special. You're perfectly the same as everybody else. Okay, but they want to hand out pills. You know, the pharmacy industry is a corrupt industry. They want to hand out these pain pills, these sort of like antidepressants, antipsychotics, you know, these ADD, Ritalin, stuff like that to kids, and it's absolutely disgusting, guys. I, for one, am completely against that, as Elon Musk is. So let's hear from the experts, okay?
Like Suzanne O'Sullivan is bringing out this book, or has just brought out this book, this the Irish neurologist. She talks about the dangers of overdiagnosis.
Yes.
You know, it is causing some controversy, I know, in the ADHD community, but she maintains that ADHD is...
The ADHD community sounds like a bunch of lunatics.
...now a business as well as a medical condition. What would you say to that?
I would say this is an opinion, overdiagnosis. It's not rooted in evidence. The evidence would say that ADHD is underdiagnosed. So Suzanne O'Sullivan has an opinion, and that's her prerogative to have an opinion, but it is not based in evidence. So
it absolutely is based in evidence, guys. If you look through any research papers, it says that people shouldn't be taking medication for having a little bit of hyperactivity. I mean, how ridiculous is that? Hey Chris, you have too much energy. Okay, go work out. Get off your fat lazy ass and go do something, okay? If your brain is working overtime, it should be working overtime. That means you have to work harder, okay? Get focused, guys. This shit's ridiculous. I'm sick of this.
So the evidence would say that it is underdiagnosed, and we have those figures from the UK, we have them from Scotland, where we have NHS prescribing data, and we know that ADHD is both under-recognised and under-treated.
Yeah, wouldn't agree with that whatsoever. Absolutely ridiculous. So of course we know all the people that are on these drugs and on these pills. You know, like I said in the last video, trying to push the Irishness. You know, the good looking people, they try and push the Irishness, and the other people with the nose rings, the blue hair, you know, the people that don't want to look good, let's just say, they are always, for some reason, this woke DEI, you know, sort of a globalist people. And here we have one more, guys. So social media influencer Molly Roberts speaks to Katie Hannon about her ADHD diagnosis. Okay, this is going to be complete bollocks, but let's hear it.
You were recently diagnosed with ADHD. Can I ask you why you went to seek that diagnosis?
I was diagnosed 2 years ago. I'm 28 now, so I was 26, so I was late diagnosed, which I think is a lot of the case with women that we're seeing. But I was really struggling throughout school, and I had a lot of the symptoms for ADHD, and I ended up sitting beside a girl in my master's degree who had ADHD, and after speaking to her, I really realised that I feel like I might have it too.
What? Okay, guys, here's the thing, bro. If you guys think you have ADHD, it's probably not that. It's probably just that you find working hard, you find exercising hard, you find focusing hard. Everybody in the world finds focusing hard. You know, you don't take pills because something is hard.
And I just really wanted answers, and I wanted some professional supports and help, and I kind of wanted to understand why I was always feeling kind of not good enough, or just wondering why I had to struggle so much more than my peers sometimes.
Let me tell you something. Here's some professional advice. Stop being a little biatch, okay? You're not struggling more than your peers. Everybody struggles the same in this world. Okay, this is the ridiculous shit that people will tell you. Here, you have ADHD, you're special. You might have some issue with you. You're not. You're perfectly fine. You're a perfectly healthy individual. You have the same struggles as everybody else in this world. The way that they peddle this bullshit to people is unbelievable. And the people eat it up because the people are looking for an excuse, guys. Everyone wants the easy way out of things, okay? The easy way out is to not take pills. Let me assure you on that, okay? Let's keep it going.
Explain to us, if you can, just give us a sense of what it feels like to be dealing with ADHD.
I think the biggest thing for me is the self-confidence issues that it gives you, because I think definitely as a child anyway, and in school, you're told just try harder, just try to do better, like you're well able to, you're just not trying hard enough. And it always comes down to you're actually not receiving the accommodations that you need, and kind of a misunderstanding of why you can't do things a certain way, or whether that be in social situations, missing social cues. It could be, like for me, ADHD affects all areas of my life. It can affect my eating, my relationships, work, everything. It's not
her eating. Dude, don't use being overweight as an excuse. Don't use ADHD as an excuse for being overweight. That is ludicrous.
Not just in school. So I think just all areas of your life to get help with.
And I know we hear a lot about people talking about issues with focus in particular and executive function, like actually managing to do something even though you know you have to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's called being lazy. You're a lazy son of a bitch. Oh, I have to do something. Let's not do it. You're flipping, you're thinking about other stuff. You're doing other shit. You're on your phone. You're addicted to your phone. All these people are just woke feminists, guys. It's just like, dude, give me a break. You know what I mean? Give me a break.
That's the ongoing battle every day, yeah.
What is the difference then? Because a lot of people say, I find it hard. I procrastinate a lot. Yeah. I have difficulty to focus. My memory is terrible. I'm always losing my keys.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that general kind of scattiness, say, and actually having ADHD?
That is the thing, is that the symptoms of ADHD are things that maybe people might deal with like once a week or something like that, but for me and for a lot of people with ADHD, the difference is that all these symptoms are a daily occurrence, and they're to such a high intense level that they impact your life. It can impact your ability to keep work, it can impact your ability to miss deadlines, friendships and relationships can fall apart. You're just being able to look after yourself as well and keep up to date with that so I think it's the full negative impact that it has on your life is the difference between just being a bit scattered.
No, that is absolute bullshit, guys. That's just being lazy and not hardworking and undisciplined, and just being shit overall life, guys. Like, literally, procrastination just means you suck, okay? So stop being procrastination, get it off the flipping couch, and work your ass off every single day, guys. That's bullshit. She's saying that the difference between a regular person, like, we're all regular people, guys. There's no one different than anyone else. She's saying the difference is that you get it more than others. That's just excuses. All I'm hearing is excuses. So here we have Professor Brendan Kelly gives Katie Hannon a thought on a study from the US that says 23% of 17-year-old schoolboys have been diagnosed with ADHD. Okay, another BS study. Let's hear about it.
So I struggle very much to believe that 23% of schoolboys in the US have ADHD. I think that is likely overdiagnosis.
Yeah.
However, I think it possible that all of those boys have certain problems. They may have learning difficulties, they may require particular accommodations, and I do worry sometimes when the diagnosis, it's an all or nothing thing, that if the person doesn't get a diagnosis, maybe they don't get the supports or the accommodations that they need. So I do sometimes worry about overemphasizing diagnosis as a means to access supports, and we see that in some areas. I imagine for that statistic you cover there probably are some quite reasonable things that happen after you're diagnosed, like additional support or additional time in exams, which people need, but not necessarily owing to a diagnosis
what's
of ADHD.
That's just, again, being low IQ or stupid, just not as good as people because you didn't put the work in. Plain and simple. You didn't put the work in, guys. So you suck at your exams. Come on.
Out of the diagnosis?
Well, diagnosis, if done well, can be really good. It can produce a sense of self-acceptance, a sense of understanding, community, empowerment, and a pathway to treatment. If it is done carelessly or without due caution, it can be disempowering. It can give people a label that maybe they don't feel fits, and it can alter people's self-image quite substantially.
Absolutely, and it's showing that girl again. I don't know who any of these people are. Social media influencers, they're all bought and paid for by the mainstream, of course, guys. They're owned by the agencies as well. Like, people just want labels nowadays. Oh, I'm special, I need this pill, I need this. It's not, it's just bullshit. Okay, next one we have Adam Harris explains the realities for autistic children in Ireland. Yeah, autism is very sad because definitely kids have autism, can't speak, you know, they don't understand social things, you know, stuff like that. That is a huge deal. And it's great to see that RFK Jr. in America is trying to find out what is causing these high levels of autism.
I think for autistic people and families, this idea that is put out by public officials from time to time in official and unofficial contexts that, you know, we're over-diagnosing, it often...
Wait, hold on. Is this guy Simon Harris' brother? This is nepotism at its finest. This is Simon Harris's brother, guys. He sounds exactly like Simon Harris. What the hell is going on?
Seems like a very poor excuse for failure to deliver. I think when we look at the reality, for example, that when we talk about autism, I think most people sitting at home who are autistic will find it amusing, the idea that if you're autistic, you accrue some additional benefits or rights within society that other people don't have. Yeah. The reality is, if you're an autistic child, you face structural barriers to mental health services.
Yeah, for sure. As a child, it's not good, guys. It's terrible, you know.
It's likely that you might be travelling at 70 kilometres from your home to go to school. Your parent might have had to apply to 40 schools in order for you to get a diagnosis. So this idea that there's some benefit to having an autism diagnosis, to be clear, the Department of Education has a constitutional obligation to provide for an appropriate education for a child. Within our current education system, where we see mainstream education very inaccessible for many children, that means an autism class or a special school, and it's the state's obligation to provide that. Within our same chance report this year, 27% of the children represented didn't have an appropriate school place, many invisible within the system and inappropriately placed in school places.
That's pretty horrendous, guys, to see that kids and stuff can't get it. Now, here we have Rebecca Meehan, who has an autistic child, says attitudes need to change in this country. I agree with this lady. You know, obviously, you know, like I said before, the good-looking people obviously have the best ideas. You know, it seems like in this country, and then the blue-haired, you know, nose ring, you know, woke, left, DEI, Marxist, globalist, they kind of, you know, are a bit wild and nuts. So let's hear what she has to say.
Isn't a number. He's a person. And my son has a constitutional right to an education, and he will go through those gates in September, whether I have to go in there and build the modular myself. And I think that the mindset needs to change here in Ireland. I mean, you're talking there on the panel all evening about autism and, you know, overdiagnosis. A neurodivergent child processes 42% more information at rest than a neurotypical individual. How can you overdiagnose that? I mean, I watch my son. All you have to do is literally look at a person on the spectrum and literally just see what they go through every single day to even try and survive in this life. My son is 5, and as they say, he is very autistic. I mean, the mindset needs to change in this country.
I agree completely, guys. You know, the mindset is that autistic people are bad or something. That's not the case at all. You know, it's unbelievable to think that she couldn't get the child help. My whole thing is, why has it increased so much? You know, in the 80s it was like 1 in 10. Now it's like, half the amount of people, half of kids are flipping autistic, or 35% is huge. And my whole thing as well is just like, I don't want people addicting kids to pills, taking antidepressants, anti-flipping psychotics, any sort of drugs that alter your mind state and drive you flipping lunatic crazy, okay? So I love you guys all. Let me know your thoughts on that. A nice mental health segment, okay? I hope everyone with mental health issues does get better, and that you guys do go through the proper treatment, okay? Don't just self-medicate or give yourself a label and give up. Okay, actually have some determination to be better with yourself and your life. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the join link underneath this video, become a member today, and I'll see you guys in the next one, Matt. Peace.